Yeah, that's it. That's sick. Look at all the leading lines and everything that go down. It is a beautiful morning, pretty early, and today we are on the way to a waterfall kind of close to a bud, so like a little bit north into the middle of Bali from where we're staying. It's pretty early. We were riding before the sun was even up, but because we're heading to a waterfall, and pretty much every single waterfall or any good spot in Bali is usually really busy and full of tourists. If you want to get good photos and shots without like hundreds of people in them, you need to go super early. Made it out to the waterfall. It's like just around there. I just wanted to also take a quick second to say thank you to all of you new people around here. I've seen there's like so many of you lately. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel and checking out the content. I got loads of cool videos coming up, so thanks for hitting subscribe. The goal for today's video is that we're gonna explore a couple different ways of trying to incorporate a bit of movement into our shots. So we've come out to this waterfall because the first way that we're gonna do this is by doing a long exposure, and I'm sure most of you guys have heard of this. And this waterfall with all the water coming down is going to be the perfect like place to try and get this long exposure. If you guys are kind of confused as to what I'm talking about, I'm going to get into it a little bit more once we get to the actual waterfall, which is down there. This video is sponsored by a company called Thai Photo, and they create amazing variable NDs and a bunch of other filters. I'm going to speak about them a little bit later in this video, but just to give them a quick shout out, they're an amazing filter company and they come with a lifetime warranty. Let's go and try and find a cool spot and see if we can get our first long exposure. If you guys want to shoot long exposures, you need something to keep your camera still so that there's no movement in it. I'm using a GorillaPod just because it's nice and small and easy to carry around. But if you have like a full-size tripod or something like that, it will work perfectly too. Like I mentioned before, I'm using a variable ND. This one is from Thai Photo, the sponsor of this video. And the reason you need one of these is because to get a long exposure, you need to make your shutter speed really slow so that the photo stays like open for a little while. And without an ND filter, which is like sunglasses for your camera, you're not going to be able to open it up enough to get that movement without it being like way overexposed. Another little pro tip kind of thing is put your camera into a 2-second timer so that when you're balancing it, you can take the photo and then let go and it will count down from 2 and then take the photo. Just because otherwise if you're holding it and you push the button, you can move the camera around and any movement on your camera is going to get like, it's going to make your photo not that sharp. So that's what we're doing. We're going to head down there and get a photo of the waterfall, and then we're going to try and get one of Hannah in the waterfall too, but first just of the waterfall by itself. So let's go.
Oh, cute!
This one's good.
I like that one.
My next idea to get some shots with movement in them are going to be on this road right here, and we're going to do 2 different things. The one thing is going to be kind of sketchy, and it involves all of us riding the scooters, both of the scooters at the same time, and one of us is gonna have to sit on it in a kind of dodgy way. So I'm gonna save that one for last. But just before we do that, I wanted to quickly talk a little bit more about these ND filters and the company Thai Photo. They're a really amazing company that is owned by other creatives and photographers, and I feel like they're created with passion and they're created from people who would use them, so they've been thought out to be like exactly what you would want out of them. They're really high quality glass, which means even when you have stopped the variable ND all the way down, you're still getting no vignette or like weird color shift. One of my favorite things about them is that it has stopping points on each end, so if it's all the way open, it stops, and if it's all the way closed, it stops. Unlike some other ND filters that I've used in the past, where you can just turn them all the way around, they don't stop, and you never know where they really are. The other absolutely ridiculous thing about these filters is they have a lifetime warranty, even against user breakage. So if you guys smash it on the floor, you can send it back to Thai Photo and they'll replace it up to 3 times. They make a bunch of amazing products, not just variable NDs. They make polarizers, UV filters, they make filters for drones. Check them out, I've left their link down below. Go check it out, they really are an amazing company. Let's get back to the video because we got some pretty cool shot ideas coming up right now. Okay, so we're gonna get Luca on his scooter and we're gonna get him to ride down here kind of. I'm gonna stand on the side, and as he moves past, I'm gonna try like match my camera speed, because otherwise if he's a different speed to what my camera's moving, he's also gonna be like affected by the motion blur. By doing this, it's gonna add so much more like depth to the photo, and it's gonna be like so much more interesting to look at. You're gonna feel that movement in the shot, and that's kind of the whole idea with this one. It's probably gonna take a couple of tries to get right. Definitely not as many tries as it's gonna take to get the second one right. Hopefully we can get it relatively easy, and hopefully it looks kind of good. Oh yeah, it almost worked. Little pro tip with doing these moving ones, if you put it in burst mode, rather than just having it in like a single shot, there's more chance that you're gonna get one of them right. Like if you start too early or start too late, it's gonna be really difficult. You're gonna have to do it like 100 times. You don't have to lower your shutter that much. I'm gonna try at 1/60 to start out, and we might slow it down depending on how much motion blur we're getting in the background. Okay,
That looks sick.
we got a sick one. Ended up putting the shutter speed a little bit higher. I feel like just by adding that like motion blur into the background, it makes it so much more interesting. We are gonna try our next shot now. So we're gonna get a shot looking back on Luca, and instead of having the motion blur be going past him like this, ideally if we do it right, all the motion blur is gonna be going in behind him, creating like really cool leading lines, but then he's still gonna be like kind of relatively sharp. Probably harder than this one, but if we get it right, it's gonna look super cool. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna ride the scooter, so Hannah behind the camera, you're gonna shoot the photo.
The most adorable tripod.
Hannah's gonna shoot the photo, Luca's gonna ride. So you're just gonna have to hold it super steady. Let's try this one. If it works, it's gonna be amazing. So let's figure out how you can get on the back without falling off. Try hook them behind you, or is that weird?
No, actually that's good.
Are you okay like that?
Yeah? Try hand pull away.
That works easy.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable.
Amazing.
Perfect. Okay,
That's good.
we're gonna go that way and come back this way so that we're looking down like this symmetrical bit with all the palm trees and everything. It'll be sick. And Hannah didn't fall off, so that's a good thing. Woo! Okay, a couple more tries, alright, we're gonna get it. It's gonna look amazing. Yeah, that's it. That's sick. Look at all the leading lines and everything that go down.
That's sick.
Well done, babe.
Focus.
Yeah, nailed it. That was easier than the other one. I thought that one was gonna be so hard.
Luca, oh, you focus in my face. Perfect.
Dude, that worked so well. Super happy with how the shots turned out. The shoot was super fun. The waterfall was really cool, and we managed to beat the crowds. So that was a plus, kind of beat the crowds. We got some cool stuff. Did not nail that bottle flip. Are you happy with some of the shots you got to do, bro?
Absolutely, man. So happy.
Super stoked. Remember to check out Thai Photo, the ND filters. They make a bunch of cool ones. ND filters can be used for so much more than just long exposures. You can use them to shoot cinematic videos and make sure your shutter speed is correct. Check out their polarizers. They have UV filters. They have a bunch. Go check them out. Really happy with how everything turned out. It was a really fun shoot. I'm really happy with how some of the photos turned out. It was a little tricky getting the long exposures going sideways, like trying to match the speed. And the one with Hannah on the back of the scooter actually ended up being way easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be the one we were going to struggle with the most, but it worked out really well, and it's definitely my favorite photo from the day is one of those ones. That is all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.